After an exciting victory over Ball State to open the renovated Kyle Field, the Fighting Texas Aggie football team returns here to their home turf as they take on a new opponent, one they haven't played since 1950. It's the University of Nevada Wolfpack. It ought to be an interesting ball game because their head coach is Brian Polian, and he started his career as an assistant right here at Texas A&M under Kevin Sunland. We're going to bring you complete coverage of the Aggie Band's third new drill of the year later in the broadcast. We have a special tribute to Jean Stanley, Aggie Band mom, and we'll talk to the bugle rank captain and the Aggie Band drum majors about the drill this week. And now, on behalf of our corporate sponsors, BJ's Restaurant and Brew House, as we celebrate this, our 21st consecutive season of broadcast, this is the Texas Aggie Band Show. We begin each broadcast with our weekly cadet report, and let's get an introduction to this week's subject from our cadet correspondent, Jessica Hoffman, class of 16. Jessica?
This segment features the latest news about a student in the Corps of Cadets who has a very special story to share. However, this week we change our focus as we pay tribute to a lady who had a tremendous impact on hundreds, if not thousands of cadets that came through the Aggie Band during her time as business coordinator for the organization. Of course, I'm speaking of Miss Jean Stanley, who served from 2004 until her retirement in May 2015. She not only completed 11 years in the Aggie Band, but 30 years of total service to Texas A&M. During her retirement ceremony in May of this year, we had the opportunity to hear from many on hand about what Miss Stanley meant to the program and to the students that relied on her for more than just her official duties.
It was just a wonderful experience to get to know her, and then when Dorothy Hopkins retired from the band department here, we were fortunate to get Jean.
Jean, during that time, was more than a tremendous help on the book. She and her assistant helped with the rosters, helped us find information, made phone calls for us. Don and I couldn't have gotten along without her, and the band couldn't have gotten along without her either.
From a professional standpoint, she's unbelievable, right? She takes care of me. She helps me out. When I muck something up, she's always the first person I go to get it fixed. And she's just so knowledgeable, and we're going to miss her very much because of that.
Jean Stanley and I have worked together for the last 12 years, and she has been my right-hand lady. I appreciate everything she's done, not only for me, but for our staff and the university and our students. We are very lucky to have her, and certainly wish her the best in her retirement. She has been an absolute treasure to have over these last 12 years.
During her time with us, Miss Stanley became known as the Aggie Band Mom, assuming the title from her predecessor, Miss Dorothy Hopkins. We had the opportunity to speak with several cadets about the tremendous influence she had on their lives.
Miss Stanley was amazing. She really taught me a lot about logistics, even though I was not her primary student. I mean, she could probably give, an Army quartermaster a run for their money. Moving 400 or 500 people at a time is probably a logistical nightmare for most folks, but she seriously made it look like it was the easiest thing in the world. And everywhere we went, we were always accommodated. And not only accommodated, but accommodated very well.
So being a student worker with Ms. Stanley, I learned a lot of kind of really hitting those punctuality dates. Working together with her really taught me a lot more about becoming that professional business side, as well as having the tie with the Aggie Band and having that fun on the side, but also being able to get work done when needed to be.
Without going into lots of details, it's a health issue that's bringing on the retirement, but I felt like I needed to concentrate on getting me well, getting through the surgery that looks like it's back on the table again and been offered. And I have just a huge family globally now. And that's the hard part, is walking away from the kids and not getting to see the kids every day.
Thanks to those who joined us this week to pay tribute to Miss Stanley. While she may have retired, she will not be forgotten. Each week at this time, we'll have a trivia question about the Aggie Band or Texas A&M University. Below is the third question for the season, brought to you each week by our sponsors, the Texas Aggie Corps of Cadets Association. Stay tuned for the answer at the end of this broadcast.
And I would be remiss if I didn't also pay tribute to Jean Stanley for her work that I've known her with for over 30 years as we started the Texas Aggie Band Association. And during her 11 years as business coordinator, let me give you some statistics. She attended 75 home football games here at Kyle Field, 46 road games with the Aggie Band, for a total of 121 football games at Texas A&M. And of those 46 road trips, 9 of them were for bowl games. And her total travel mileage just short of 23,000 miles. Jean, we want to wish you the very best in your retirement, and may God bless you in the years to come. Each year, the Fighting Texas Aggie Band is led onto the field by the famed bugle rank, consisting of 12 senior cadets. The bugle rank first appeared in 1933 as an innovation of Colonel Richard Dunn when the Aggie Band traveled to New Orleans for a game against Tulane. Many do not know that at the outset, the bugle rank consisted of 2 ranks, and historical pictures show up to 16 cadets carrying the elongated bugles with the banners. In 1953, Colonel E.V. Adams placed only seniors on the bugle rank, thus improving the overall look of the band. Known for their entrance to the field at the start of each drill with the bugle flourish, the bugle rank comprised of 12 cadets, each of which has been selected through a rigorous tryout procedure held in the spring semester prior to this academic year. Earlier this week, we had a chance to talk to the bugle rank captain about his duties teaching the band the drill through the bugle rank and what goes on behind the scenes that the bugle rank does to make Saturday a success for the fans viewing the Aggie Band drill.
So the bugle rank captain comes up with the flourish each week. So about Sunday or Monday morning, I start thinking about what I'm going to do, because depending on how the bugle rank's set up is depending on what the flourish is going to do. The very first game, we were in a V formation, so we weren't together, and so the drum major had to call out cadences so we could get our movements together. The very first Kyle Field game, though, we were all lined up, and so we did a ripple effect, starting with me going down to the band commander and back and forth. And yeah, during the flourishes, we can hear all the oohs and ahs that everyone does, but after that, I kind of zone in and just block out all sound so I can focus on the drill entirely for those 8 minutes that we need to be perfect. Before I came to A&M, I didn't even know A&M did military style of marching, so when I showed up here first day of FOW, it was completely different from what I did in high school. And I didn't even realize we had a bugle rank until about halfway through my freshman year, because in the baritone section, you're all the way in the very, very back, and you can't see really past the trumpets or the drums, and so you don't really see what all is going up in the front. But about halfway through the year, I saw all these seniors were holding different instruments that they didn't play at all. They had banners hanging from them. I said, you know, that's pretty cool. I hope I could do something like that. But going into my sophomore year, I didn't really think about it because it was so far away. But when I finally became a junior, I said, you know what? That looks like something I want to do. It's prestigious, and I want to be part of that my final year. Bugle rank starts out with an application about 1 month before the actual auditions. And so the previous year's bugle rank captain gathers all the juniors who are interested. So this year is about 60 of us. And he said, here's the application for you to join bugle rank. Here's a piece of paper giving us all the instructions what to do and what to wear during the practices. So for a month before the actual auditions, we would go out every day with the practice bugles in Aggie Band polo, jeans, a black belt, tennis shoes, and white socks, and we practiced the drill that the bugle rank captain from the previous year assigned to us. So Tim Cummins, Hayden Perry, and Matt McClure, they got in front of Dorm 11 on the BQ quad and announced the entire junior class of our year who all was going to be announced as bugle rank. And when my name was announced, I was absolutely elated that I got chosen to it, because beginning of butt year, I was like, I want to do this. This is what I really want to do. I want to march bugle rank my final year in the Texas Aggie Band. And I called my mom and said, hey mom, I got bugle rank, and she was just elated as well. She's like, oh Will, I'm so excited for you.
Each week you hear me talk about the Aggie Band stepping out in a new drill, and it is true. Every drill, every week is different. And unlike so many other bands around the nation who only perform 1, 2, or maybe 3 new drills, the Aggie Band, each week they step out and perform, whether it's here at Kyle Field or away, is always a new drill to excite the fans. And this week we got a chance to talk to some of the drum majors about how they teach the drill to the Aggie Band cadets. On the field, the Aggie Band is led by 3 drum majors and the 12 members of the bugle rank. Each drum major carries a mace and directs the band based on its movements and whistle commands during the drill. The head drum major is a cadet lieutenant colonel, while the 2 side drum majors, the infantry band drum major and the artillery band drum major, are cadet majors. The drum majors work together to teach the new drill each week. Prior to the game, we had a chance to talk to 2 of the drum majors of the Aggie Band about how they teach the drill and their duties during each performance.
The drum major is kind of the most visually representative part of the Aggie Band. if anybody pictures the Aggie band, they probably either imagine the bugle rank or one of the 3 drum majors first. And as that, the drum major is expected to have a very high level of excellence in their everyday life. And as far as band responsibilities, the drum majors teach the drill every week. We kind of keep the band in line. We lead the band in songs during the football games and at midnight yell. And those are most of the main responsibilities of the drum major. Once we get the drill from the directors on the Friday before we have to teach it that next Monday, me and the other 2 drum majors will sit down for a few minutes before we get the bugle rank in there, and we'll kind of run through the drill, walk through it, make sure we know exactly what every movement is, and then we'll bring the bugle rank in, and we'll have them bring out their drill cards, and we'll teach them the drill right there. And then right after that, we'll go outside and we'll practice it, make sure that the bugle rank knows exactly what they're doing. And then the drum majors will get back together and we'll kind of decide how we're going to split up teaching various movements, like the step off. We'll break that up into three parts so that it's easier for us to teach it. We can teach it quickly. And then we do the same thing with any other individual assignments. We try to break it up pretty evenly so that we can get the most efficient work possible done. There's this certain feeling that you get on a Thursday or Friday morning rehearsal when you sound recall and step off on hullabaloo. And once you get that feeling, you kind of know that, okay, this drill is going to be fine. But it also helps whenever Dr. Ray at the end of rehearsals comes up to us and tells us that drill is going to be fine. So that, yeah, those 2 things, that feeling you get and then the director's telling us that it's going to be good.
The band has 1 head drum major and 2 side drum majors. The reason for the 2 side drum majors is because the band is so large, and at various points throughout the drills, the band is so spread out that we need 2 people on the side so that the entire band can stay on tempo and stay in beat and know when the executions are for various movements. Each side drum major, aside from helping teach the drills, has their own individual responsibilities. As the infantry band drum major, I'm responsible for setting up the drill board every week. So I'm responsible for making sure everybody knows where they're supposed to be standing in the drill block each week. And then the artillery band drum major is responsible for accountability, making sure everybody is where they're supposed to be and when they're supposed to be there. So the benefits of having so many alternates is if somebody gets injured or somebody is sick one morning, we have someone that can fill their spot so that we can continue learning the drill with the time schedule that we have planned. And then as far as making sure that they're being productive when they're not involved in the drill, they will go back to their rooms and do anything academically productive, or they will do anything core productive, such as polishing shoes, polishing brass, or any other outfit assignments that they may have. So the toughest part about teaching a drill is making sure that everybody understands their assignment, because throughout the drills at various points you will either be doing a group assignment or you'll have your own individual assignment, and it's making sure that there's clarity in knowing whether it's a group assignment such as a follow the leader drill, or if you have an individual assignment where you're going to be leading a group of people behind you. So as the infantry band drum major, I have a piece of brass that has been passed down through every other infantry band drum major since at least the late 60s, maybe even early 60s. And the belt buckle itself, just by it being passed down throughout the years, just gives me a sense of connection to every drum major that is performed prior, and just knowing that I have that piece of history that I wear every day just gives me a sense of pride in knowing that I'm connected to something bigger than just the current band that I'm a part of.
I'm Matt Lacasio from Helotes, Texas, majoring in industrial engineering. On behalf of the senior class of 2016 and my buddies here in the trombone section, here now is the halftime drill of the Fighting Texas Aggie Band at the Texas A&M versus Nevada football game at Kyle Field.
steps out into a parallel ground formation. From the south 20 to north 25, the formation is Irving, who doubles the faculty front to midfield place center mark drill. The music will be Marcus Ponderosa. From the north and south 40-yard line, the band executes double spread the block formation that executes the midfield diamond passing through. The music is the Patton theme.
Thanks for watching our broadcast. And on the screen now is the answer to this week's trivia question. If you guessed 1933 for the first time the bugle rank ever appeared with the Aggie Band, you are correct. And it's when Texas A&M played Tulane in New Orleans. Before we close our broadcast, I'd like to pay tribute to a man we had on the show last fall, Tommy Bosky. He told us his story about battling cancer as he watched his daughter perform for the first time with the Aggie Band. This past Saturday, I learned that Tommy had lost his battle of cancer, but I remember back to August the 19th when he came up to me and we talked at FOW for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to miss his great spirit, his love for Texas A&M, and the fact that no matter what the disease was taking out of him, he got up every day, went to work, and continued to be a great volunteer for the community, a great husband, and a great father. We want to pay tribute to his family, his lovely wife, Stella, his wife for 29 years, and his two daughters, Courtney and Kimberly. Next week, when we come to you, Texas A&M takes on Arkansas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, part of the Southwest Classic. We'll be there to bring you the Aggie Band's 4th new drill of the year, and we'll have new feature stories about Texas A&M. And now, on behalf of our corporate sponsors, BJ's Restaurant and Brew House, this has been the Texas Aggie Band Show.